Right, start recording. How was you anyway? How's yourself and the rest of the band? How you keeping doing?
We're doing pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, great. Yeah. Struggling a little bit because it's coming up to Christmas and all the presents and stuff like that. It's I hate this time of year.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, it's yeah, I give me Halloween any day.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. So where are you at right now?
I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I'm based in South Wales, Cardiff.
Okay.
It's part of the British Isles, it is, but a lot of people, especially bands, don't come to Wales, so
Yeah.
they don't get to know a great deal about us Welsh.
Yeah, right. So where do you have to go to see bands?
Um, well, we do get quite a few bands, but our main venue is too small for the big bands.
Yeah.
And too big for the smaller bands.
Right.
So they want to knock it down and rebuild it and basically put on a much bigger venue. And
Okay.
with Live Nation, because they've got so many other locations, like Birmingham is not far away, they kind of use that a lot more than us in Wales. But we do
So
get to see quite a
how
lot.
far is Birmingham from you?
Birmingham or Birmingham, and to be honest, it's about 90 miles away, if that.
Okay. So not too far.
No. On Saturday, I drove up to London for a VIP event,
Oh.
and that's like 174 miles. So
Okay.
I'll go anywhere. I went to Omaha, Nebraska, to see Kiss. So
Oh
I
yeah.
travel anywhere for good music.
Oh yeah.
Starting at right at the beginning, what music and bands did you grow up listening to? And can you remember your very first vinyl record you bought?
Let's see. By the time vinyl was popular, well, what I grew up on was basically Kiss, AC/DC, Black Sabbath, um, Foghat. I mean, just any of the 70s and 80s rock. And that was more in my younger years. And then I went on, of course, to Iron Maiden and Ozzy and Yngwie Malmsteen. I used to really like him.
Yeah.
And then in my late teens, early 20s, I got into death metal quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I listened to a lot of that, went to a lot of shows. So yeah, I'm pretty diverse. I mean, Yes, and just a lot of different bands. But as far as my first vinyl that I bought, it's funny because I didn't buy one probably until I was in my late 20s, because I grew up, by the time I hit a teenager, vinyl was out.
Yeah.
So it was all CDs. And to be honest, the first one that I bought, I don't remember, but I remember the first vinyl that I ever got, and that was Gene Simmons' solo album.
Yeah. Mine actual very first vinyl was I don't know if you remember, in the solo albums with Kiss, they done there was a German version where they had 3 tracks, the best of solo albums.
Yeah.
That was my very first vinyl. And
Oh.
I remember putting the Gene Simmons side on because Gene Simmons is my hero.
Right.
I put it on, and the beginning of Radioactive. Oh my God, I was, well, since then I've been a Satanist, and not because of Gene Simmons or anything like that, but that just give me that. Oh God, this is. It just felt satanic to me. I don't know why, but it just gives you that little bit of a creep. And I was young as well. I was only about 12.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my very first album, the best of.
Yeah.
Um, with music, who's your favorite death metal band? Have you got one, or is it one you go to when you're in that mood?
I like old school death metal. I don't really get into a lot of the new stuff. So, um, I would say Obituary would probably be one of my first. Death would definitely be, and probably Deicide.
Yeah, Deicide was my first dipping my toes into death metal. And Behemoth.
Yeah.
I just love their stuff, and the visuals is
Yeah.
brilliant. But yeah, I've been asking a lot of bands over the past 12 months about the mental side of musicians during the pandemic, and as they affected as they affected yourself. Did they affect members of the band? Was there any struggle, or was you 100% committed to the new album?
Um, we were 100% committed to the new album. We didn't really, since we weren't able to play out at all for our second album, Valhalla, which we released that last May in 2020.
Yeah,
That was right when COVID got really bad over here, so we didn't get to tour at all. So we just basically stopped playing those songs and went directly into writing for the new album. And we didn't waver from that. As far as mentally goes, COVID sucks fucking balls, man. I mean, I hate it. It fucking sucks for everybody.
yeah,
It's put a damper on the whole music industry. It has drove me crazy for the last almost, going on a year and a half,
yeah,
almost years now. And it's just, I want it to be over with. I want to play out so bad right now, and we can, but it's still just weird. It's still so touchy and iffy, and some venues want you to wear a mask, some venues want you to have vaccinations, some venues don't care, some venues, so you never know what you're getting into when you book a show.
yeah,
So I just want it to be back to normal, and I think that's what everybody wants. And it has definitely put for somebody that deals with depression anyway, especially through the winter months,
yeah,
it sucks really bad.
yeah. I I go out like in the UK. I've been to so many bands to concerts this year, because I tried to get to as many, because you don't know when our governments are going to say, "Oh, that's it, we're going back into lockdown," and
Right.
and I could totally get where you're coming from, because um, there's a touring band I went to see not so long back. It was on a Monday, and the band would sell out no matter what. And they were gigging in Cardiff on the Monday, and there was, I'd probably go as far as to say, about 70 people there, and they were like thanking everyone. "Oh, thank you so much for coming to see us on a Monday." Now that would have
Right.
been a sellout. So many people are worried because of the governments keep saying there's a new strain, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, right, how is that going to affect us?" And yeah, I keep arguing with my parents because I keep saying to them, look, I'm going to concerts. I don't know. I'll wear a face mask if I have to wear one. But because I do the photography side, it's the majority of the time I'm wearing a face mask for the protection of the band.
Right.
Protection for me. I don't want to go and visit my parents, and then because they're in the later years, I don't want them to obviously catch COVID.
Right.
So weird. And like you say, venues are going, oh, you can't come, you can't photograph these concerts because of COVID. You can't do this. You can't. I just, like yourself, I just wanted to get back to normal.
Right. That would be nice.
Yeah. So on to better things. Can you give me a bit of insight into the writing and recording of Blood and Iron, and how did you go through the process with obviously with COVID about? Did you pass on music files to one another, and was it a fun and positive experience?
Yeah, it was fun. Stressful. This is our first release through a really big record label, so we of course wanted it to be good. We wanted it to be worth their time.
Yeah.
And I think it is. I think it turned out really well.
Yeah, I graded it 8.6.
Okay.
I thought it was a solid, brilliant album. It was. I tried to. I put the points, the
Yeah.
0.6 and all that to I do it with all my reviews, but it was a brilliant album. Brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah, we're real happy with it, and the way all of our stuff starts out is with a riff or two riffs, and it's either something I'll write or something someone else will write in the band. And I mean, Blood and Iron, the songs for Blood and Iron were started immediately after we got done recording Valhalla. So I'm always writing. I mean, I've probably got 30 to 40 new riffs for our next album already.
Amazing.
They're not all great. Some of them are just experimental, to build on, but that's mainly the way things start out. And then we'll get together, and we don't really send, I mean, I'll send files every once in a while, but we usually just get together. We try to get together twice a week and go through some things. Right now we're playing songs off of Blood and Iron and mixing in some older stuff too. But like I said, I've already got some pretty good ideas for the next album, I think. So I'm always writing. The other guys are always have ideas. So it's a never ending process for us, kind of.
How long did it take to record?
We actually started in May, and we ended up being done in July. So it only took 3 months. It was pretty rough. The original release date for this album was supposed to be next April, but we thought that, and the album or the record label thought that we would possibly get lost in the shuffle of a lot of the bigger bands that are going to be releasing around that time. Yeah. So we went ahead and decided to bump it up to December of this year, which was, 5 months sooner than what we had planned. But luckily we had a lot of the songs already written, and we were able to do it. And for the time that we actually put in it, as far as recording goes, I think it turned out really, really well.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's a brilliant album. Really, really good.
Thank you.
I keep pointing my friends to new bands, because since I've been doing this now 2 years, I keep pointing them and go, oh my God, you got to listen to this band. You got to listen. And they're like, oh, you keep doing it. You keep sending us all these bloody band names and all that. And I'm like, you got to listen to it. It's
well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, a really, really good album.
We can use as many fans over there as we can get, especially when we come over there to play.
Well, if you come to Cardiff, I'll bring a big mob down with me.
We are going to be in Birmingham.
I'll come on to that at the end about UK tour dates. With going on to touring, have you done much shows as of late? And have you got anything planned for the rest of December?
We don't have, the only show we've played this year was November 6th in our hometown. And it was the first time we got to play any songs off of Valhalla, our second album. And we played we had the 2 singles that were out at the time. We played those and they went really well. So we don't have any shows booked as of right now besides the European tour. And we are trying to get something going for early next year, maybe in March. So we would like to get some kind of 10 to 15 date tour in the United States before we head over to Europe. But as of right now, we don't have anything planned.
After this interview, when we come off, I'll send you a couple of promoters and a couple of venues.
Okay.
Full on in Wales.
Okay.
Brilliant venues. And promoters. They're awesome. And I'll email them and tell them what dates you're coming over. And,
yeah, because we do have some open dates that we need to fill still, I believe.
Yeah, I'll get to that
5 or 6 dates.
Brilliant. And finally, you've mentioned it. You say you're playing in Birmingham. What's the dates and who's supporting you?
Well, all I can tell you without having the dates in front of me, the Birmingham date, I believe, is our first date, and that would be April 28th.
Right.
Of 2022. So we are going from April 28th through May 28th.
I'll just write it down.
But I believe we're in the UK for 7 days.
Right.
So I know we play London, we play Manchester. I can't remember all of them, but I know we're in the UK. We played Glasgow. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 7 dates that we're in the UK.
Brilliant. It's I've written it down, and I will be speaking to my promoter friends and the venues and see if we can try and get you a gig or two around South Wales.
Yeah. The band that we're touring with is a band called Huntsman. They're from Chicago.
Brilliant.
Yeah, in the United States. They're a really good band.
I'll keep a lookout for them. And this has been a privilege. I'm sorry I had to cancel the other week. I informed Andy, who arranges it. You mentioned it earlier about depression. I suffer with PTSD. This is how I got doing all this, to bring awareness to PTSD and mental illness.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was having a bad time. So
that's understandable. No worries. Don't worry about it at all.
Yeah, this has been a privilege, and I will do my best to get you into Wales, but I will definitely be attending the Birmingham concert, and I'll drag my mate along as well. And
all right, make sure if you come to a show that you come up and introduce yourself and we hang out.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely, definitely. And I'd be arranging all the stuff with Andy anyway, so we'll try and get something organized to have like a little interview or something at the venue. So we can talk about the UK or the European tour.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thank you so much for this, Chris. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and good luck with the album, and good luck with your US tour when it starts.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get it panned out here pretty soon.
Yeah, yeah. As long as another variant doesn't turn up, but they just seem to come from everywhere these days.
There's more strains of COVID than there is pot anymore.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, speak to you soon, and I will send you a list of venues and contacts, and speak to a manager or promoters and see what can be arranged.
Okay, sounds good.
Brilliant. Speak
Have a
to you
good day.
and yourself.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye.